Hey mathematicians, let's talk about reading an analog clock. I can see that this clock here, I have 3 hands on it. The first hand is this one that's moving quite quickly. We can see it moving just by watching for a few seconds. It is the second hand. It's the long silver one that's moving around, and it's showing us that, well, these hands move to the right. They move clockwise. The 2 black hands are the more important 2 hands. The second hand, not so important for us to worry about. The long, skinny black hand is the minute hand, and it's reaching. I can see that it's reaching the numbers on the outside. This shorter black hand is not reaching the numbers, and that's the hour hand. I always start with the hour hand. It's the most important one and the place to start. Let's take a look at my clock here. And you can see, well, I've given myself a reminder about the direction that the hands move, clockwise around to the right. And I've also, you can see that I've written 5 minutes around the outside too. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with that most important hand, the hour hand. And remember, it's the shorter of the 2 hands. The minute hand reaches further, and on my clock it does reach the numbers around the outside. The hour hand does not. I can see that the hour hand is in between the 2 and the 3. I know that it's moving this way, so I know it's past 2. It must be past 2 o'clock, but is it yet 3 o'clock? No, it's not yet 3 o'clock because the hour hand hasn't reached it yet. So it must be 2 something. We're in the middle between 2 and 3 o'clock. It must be 2 something. That something comes in, well, that's where we go to the minute hand. So the minute hand I can see is pointing down here, but it's not 5 o'clock. No, we think of the minute hand slightly differently. Where the hour hand moves between hours, the minute hand tells us minutes. Each chunk, each number on the clock is 5 minutes for the minute hand. That's why I've written here 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and so on. So I can see that this minute hand has traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chunks, 5 numbers around the clock. Well, that would add up to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes that it has moved. So between those 2 hands, the hour hand tells me that it's 2, the minute hand tells me that it's 25. So this clock is telling us that it is 2:25. Oftentimes, our minute hand doesn't point exactly at a number to be a nice even 5, 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it's between, but that's okay. We can see that our clock has little dots around the side to tell us where each of those 5 minutes in that stretch are. So for this example, the hour hand has passed the 1, but it's not yet at the 2. I know that it's going to be 1 something. The minute hand has passed the 2, but it's not yet at the 3. So I can think, okay, minute hand, you've traveled 5 minutes, 10 minutes total, plus, well, it looks like you're pointing at the second dot there. So you've traveled the 10 minutes plus 1 plus 2 extra minutes there. So 10 plus 2, I can see that this minute hand has moved 12 minutes from the 12. So the time must be 1:12.